All right, looks like we are live and in person. Welcome aboard. All right, we're gonna get cracking here in just a second, my friends. Vegas #1, Florida #2. Yeah. We'll see. Oh boy. All right, let's 7 o'clock. Cool. All right, we're live and in person. Hold on just a second. Get set up, my friends. There's Pablo. All right, cool. Mexico, New York. Is that where you're coming in from? All Pro, where are you coming in from? Larry, you in Mexico, New York? Right on, right on. There's a Mexico, Maine. There's a Mexico, Mexico. Who would have thought? All right, we'll just hang tight here for just a second. Yeah, if you like your music loud and you like it hard, Telekinetic Yeti. It looks like a 2-man band, a drummer and a guitarist who also happens to be occasional vocalist. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. That's so much stuff. So while we're doing this, just real quick, we'll share my screen and I'm going to show you my. Can I do this here? Let's see. How do I do this? Hang on 1 second. Get out of that. I'm in West Virginia, but you'll be in Vegas. Why are you ultimately going to be in Las Vegas, man? What's the appeal there? All right, here we go. So let's see if I can't. See if I can't share that. There we go. So we're going to share the screen of my soon-to-be released book, Retire with the Wellington Fund, Build a solid retirement plan using the Welling Fund, from Josh Scanlon. You saw it here first. Yep, that's good. So that's good stuff. The guy got the good folks at Design Crowd to do that for me. Must have had 85 different things to choose from, and that's the one I like the best. With help from you crazy guys too. So much obliged for anyone who bring your shared one to the front. Anyone who contributed to my anyone who contributed when I did the voting thing, much obliged there. That was a huge help for me. So let's do share, and there's a back cover right here. And Josh Scanlon is a certified financial planner practitioner, holds a master's of science degree in personal financial planning. Some guys like, I've never heard anyone call a CFP a certified financial planner practitioner. That's what you're supposed to call it. You have to, and if you the bylaws of the Certified Financial Planner Board of Standards is you are a certified financial planner practitioner, and that is supposed to be capitalized just like this. That was weird, man. And then he said, I've never heard anyone, a master's of science degree in personal financial planning. So he's never heard of it. So what does that mean exactly? He goes, you should have a suit and a tie. I was like, oh, God. So I think that guy must be new to my channel. He probably will never be seen from again, because I'm like, dude, you don't know what we're dealing with here in the YouTube land of heritage wealth planning. That's for sure. All right, so let's go. Oops, we gotta go where we gotta go. Hold on just a second, amigos. There we go. All right, cool. All right. Oh, that's not what we want. We want that right there. All right, there we go. All right, cool, man. All right, so. Hey, Marty. So I emailed you, man. You had to email me something. I forgot off the top of my head. I had tried emailing you back, and it kept getting rejected. So email me again if you would. You had your. I'm sure I got nothing on my. I just had spaghetti. Make sure I don't get any stuff on there. Your email said mail.com, and I wasn't sure if it's gmail.com or mail.com. So anyway, all right. So appreciate y'all being here. That's another one I want to put, West Virginia. Yes, sir. So let's go to, all right, so we're going to have a list of stuff. We're going to look at Charleston, West Virginia. Oh, Virginia. Hold on a second. I'm writing down towns I want to look at. We're going to go to Virginia. We're gonna go to Purcellville. No, Berryville, Front Royal, Lexington, Roanoke. All right, and Williamsburg. All right, so I got a bunch of towns I want to compare. We're going to look at the best places to retire to. All right, Rich, you're coming in from Pittsburgh. Is that what you're saying? In Lake Mead or what I like. Right on. So Alpro, where you at in West Virginia right now, man? All right, so let's go. We're going to share my screen, and we're gonna hit this hard. This can be a lot of fun. All right, so we're gonna get rid of this guy, and we are going to go to. Where we go, man? Hold on just a second. Oh man, okay, so I gotta share this. All right, hold on just a second. What do y'all? Why is I'm having such a hard time with this? Weird. All right, so let's go out of here. I want to go to best places. All right, there we go. So I want to go. Stop this for a second. Now I want to share screen. Oops, I want to share screen. There we go. All right, sweet. So now let's go to best places. Let me just I'll tell you what, bear with me just a second, guys. I'm having a hard time. For some reason, I got a Safari and a IE open. I don't know why I have Internet Explorer open. That's weird. All right, hold on just a second. So let's go to best places. All right, so we're going to go to best places. What we're going to do is going to go, and I'm a premium member, and I think the premium membership is, I think $100 a month or so, $100 a year or something like that. Off the top of my head, I can't remember, but I'm a premium member. So we're going to go to cost of living, and we're going to say we are in Alpharetta. All right, Alpharetta, Georgia, which is where you find your old buddy Josh, right there. All right, and then. Maine in the summer, Texas in the winter, says Sean. Right on. All right, so Charlotte is awful. Don't move here. So does that mean you're trying to get out there, or are you just saying to keep us out? All right, so so I got a list of cities. So let's start with, first and foremost, we're gonna go to the great state of Virginia, where my wife is from. All right, so we are in Alpharetta, and let's say we're gonna look at, we're gonna start with Williamsburg, Virginia. All right, Williamsburg, Virginia. Williamsburg, right there. All right, so we're going to start here. And what we're going to do is say our annual income is going to say $65,000 a year, because that is the median in the good old US of A, $65,000 a year. So we're going to hit calculate. All right, so we're going to say, okay, so what we want to do here, the salary of $65,000 Alpharetta could vary from $54,000 to $60,000 in Williamsburg. All right. And so what we're going to do, so it basically costs less. And I tell you, let's say 100,000. Just, I need to get a nice round number. We're just going to say $100,000 a year. That is hard for me to figure that out. So I want to have $100,000 a year. And what current city? Alpharetta, right? And Williamsburg. So we're going to start with Williamsburg. Right there. Now, if you haven't been in Williamsburg, it's nice. That's where William and Mary is and all that. All right, so in Williamsburg, it's about 10% less in Williamsburg, Virginia, than Alpharetta, Georgia. And so you can see homeowner, no child care, taxes. We want to have taxes considered. So homeowner, no child care, because we're talking about retiring, if that makes sense. All right, so homeowner, no child care, taxes, 15% less in Williamsburg, my friend. So 15% less for cost of living. Keep going down. Let's see. Williamsburg is 16.7% cheaper than Alpharetta, Georgia. And then what we're going to go down, what I like to do here is go to food. All right, let's take a gander at food. So food is pretty much the same here. Food, groceries, produce, a little bit cheaper in Williamsburg, but pretty much the same. So that nothing jumps out at me. And you can go through the whole thing. For food, bacon is about the same there. And here's the U.S. average, roughly the same. Bacon, steak, you got to look at steaks, ground beef, pretty similar to. So we'll kind of stop there. All right, so let's now go to housing. This is the big one, man, housing. The median house in Alpharetta is $389. The median house in Williamsburg is $305. So it's 21% less in Williamsburg than it is in Alpharetta, Georgia. Interesting. which they're both expensive. So you can see up here, housing homeowner, the good old US of A is 100. The average in the US is 100. So Williamsburg ain't a cheap place, that's for sure. It's just a heck of a lot cheaper than Alpharetta. So you can see the median housing, but remember the median housing in the US is like 262. So I mean, that's, housing in of itself ain't cheap in the US of A. But anyway, so you got a house price in Williamsburg is 305. Property tax is $1,600 on the median house. So basically, you're paying one half, and you gotta. I don't know why they do this, but you gotta divide that by 100 or whatever. So basically, what they're saying is the effective property tax in Alpharetta is 1%. The effective property tax in Williamsburg is 0.05. That's a pretty big deal. 46% less in property taxes in Williamsburg than Alpharetta. That's interesting to me. House appreciation over the last 1, 5, and 10 years. Alpharetta's in the orange. So Alpharetta's just freaking gone crazy. Over 5 years, 43%. Williamsburg is the blue, has only gone up 12.5%. Over the last 10 years, Williamsburg has actually gone down. Interesting. That is interesting. I'm wondering why that is, because Williamsburg, it says a college town, got William and Mary there. The tribe, but I don't think he called it the tribe anymore. It's my brother and his wife met. They went to school there because I think that's racist to call Williamsburg, William and Mary the tribe. So they call it the Griffins now or something stupid. That's interesting. Look at that. So the last 10 years, Williamsburg has actually gone down in value. That's interesting. What if my brother knows that? All right, so let's keep going. So let's look at utilities, a big one here. So housing is definitely cheaper in Williamsburg than it is in Alpharetta. Utilities, not that much cheaper in Williamsburg, but 3.4%. Not that much cheaper. Electric bill is typical electric bill is $127 in Williamsburg. I'm on Dogface. I'm on bestplaces.net. Bestplaces.net. It's awesome. I love it. Now, what I want to go into a little bit is I want to go in also to find out they actually have the politics, which is pretty cool too. So I'm pretty familiar with Virginia, so I don't need to go too much. Williamsburg, I'm sure, is on the left because it's a college town, but I don't need to go too much in politics here because I can't go to a liberal city. I just can't. It's just, live in fantasy world. But I know Williamsburg in of itself is a nice place. I frankly really couldn't see myself living around there. It's just too flat for me. But man, it's freaking gorgeous in the fall. It's freaking outstanding. It's just a good place to live. For me, it's a little bit too flat. I like it either. I need to be either in the mountains or closer to the water. Williamsburg is pretty close to water though. Natural gas, here you go. So natural gas is a heck of a lot cheaper in Williamsburg than Alpharetta. Heating oil is cheaper too. So ultimately, your total electric bill is a little bit less in Williamsburg, and even though your propane is a little bit more expensive. Electricity, let's see here, how homes are heated. I don't know why you'd. Natural gas right there, right? So with natural gas, 48% of people, 47% of people in Williamsburg heat their home with natural gas. We're 56% in Alpharetta, and basically half the people in the U.S. heat their use natural gas. So here's climate index. Now this is pretty cool. The heating index. So you get 5. 1 means it's the best. Means needs the least amount of home heating. 10 means it means the most. So if you're going up in Maine, you're gonna have 10, right? If you're going into the AC, that's the air conditioning. So you see heating index is right smack in the middle. So pretty mild, but they're both humid. Look at that, dudes. See, that's not gonna work for me. Williamsburg, because it's on flatter, more swampy lands, it's got 8.5 humidity. That's too much. I can't take it. Summer comfort index, oppressive. I don't like oppressiveness. I don't like to be, I don't want to be oppressed, man. So that's not going to do it for me. So I'm just like, yeah, that's what I'm trying to hoosh. All right. So commute. Well, the commute in Alpharetta is nuts. 42% less actually transportation costs. So significantly less in Williamsburg than Alpharetta. Gas price is a little bit less. Auto insurance is less. Does it say that how long of a commute here? Let's see. Gallons, traffic data. So best places traffic index. So Alpharetta is the high, has got to be the worst. 1 is the lowest congested. 10 is the most congested. That's weird. You got two, so I'm not sure what's going on here. But if 1 is the most congested and 1 is the least congested and 10 is the most, they got 202 and 57. It looks to me like I know Alpharetta and its traffic is heavy. I know that for a fact. There you go. Average commute time is 27 minutes in Alpharetta, and 19 for Williamsburg. So anyway, and then you can go to the big one, taxes. Taxes in Williamsburg are higher than the national average. So the way I look at this, so you got, federal tax, 100 to 100 equal. So, I mean, that's not, you're not going to go there to save much money. State income tax is actually higher in Virginia than it is in Alpharetta in Georgia. So then you got state sales tax a lot lower. Sales tax on food is much lower. Real property tax on median home is 56% lower. That's a big deal, man. Big deal. Right here, annual vehicle property taxes on a $25,000 car, they're going to hit you $600 a pop, where in Georgia's nothing. We just have to pay this annual auto registration. So there's lots of great data here. Anyway, so, look at this on 100. Oh, I didn't know they did this. This is sweet. On $100,000, I guess they're saying you are single, I guess. If you're, okay, it looks like they're saying you're single. You got $1,000 motor vehicle taxes in Williamsburg, $1,600 in property taxes, $1,500 in sales tax, $5,200 in federal tax and state tax, and $15,000 in Fed. So your marginal rate in Virginia is your effective rate in Virginia is 5.3, but your effective rate in Alpharetta is 5.4. So no reason to move to Williamsburg from Alpharetta. That doesn't make sense. So I would scratch that one off. It doesn't save you much. The cost of move is gonna be a pain in the butt. Not a big savings. I mean, it's a big savings relative to housing, but the overall scheme of things, from taxes, air quality of just that doesn't do it for me. I'd stay right where I'm at. All right, so let's go find another one then, man. Let's go city compare. So I'm gonna look at Lexington. I love Lexington. Oh my goodness, Lexington, Virginia is awesome. That's Washington and Lee. I'm sure pretty soon you won't be able to call it Washington and Lee anymore because George Washington owned slaves and Robert E. Lee was a traitor. So I'm sure it's only a matter of time. I'm saying it facetiously. We've got it. In fact, the American flag in of itself is traitorous to I don't know what it is, but it's only a matter of time. I mean, we've been saying this for years. You start tearing down statues of people you don't like, you're going to find more people you don't like to tear down their statues. It's just a matter of time. So let's go to Lexington, Virginia. That's in the out off 81 in the western part of Virginia. It's flipping awesome out there. From Roanoke to Lexington to Harrisonburg to Winchester up to the Maryland 9. It's just freaking incredible. It's gorgeous for sure. So let's take a look here. Oh, I didn't know they had this right here. Cool. Population Lexington about 7,100 people. Median income is 36,000. Median income Alpharetta is 87,000. Median age, because Lexington's a college town, so you'd have to be careful with that. But all right, so let's look at cost of living. All right, cool. That's pretty cool, man. Politics right here. That's what I want to see. So that's all right. So in Lexington, only 31% Republican. The places around Lexington is right wing. That's all there is to it. And you can see Alpharetta and Lexington are both heavily Democrat, and that's because Lexington is a college town. And Alpharetta, we're getting a lot of people from inside the perimeter moving up this way, and they're taking their politics with them as well. So that's not good. That is something that I live in the Alpharetta area, so that's that's not good. No other way around that. So I'm not moving to a place that's dominated by Democrats. It's just not going to happen. Anyway, so we go there. So let's go to cost of living. And we see overall Lexington is 90 and the US is 100. All right. So Lexington is cheaper than the overall US, which I like. Food and groceries about the same. Healthcare in Alpharetta is cheaper than the US average, but healthcare in Lexington, Virginia is higher. Housing is much cheaper in Lexington than Alpharetta. It's close to the national average for sure. Median home costs in Lexington is $221, which is even lower than the U.S. average. That whole area of Lexington is pretty fantastic. I'm not going to lie to you. This should be top on your list there for sure. Anyway, so let's go out. My big thing is I want to see, am I still, yeah, I'm still logged in. I want to see, how did I go? Select cities, hold on a second. Cost living, there we go. I thought I did that. All right, Alpharetta. All right, I wanted to go to how they heat their homes. That's my big thing right there. I do not like, I need natural gas. For me, I need to have natural gas. Lexington, Virginia. And we're going to go back and say 100,000 schmack is just because it's a nice round number. All right, here we go. So I want to go to utilities. How do they heat their homes? So electric bill in Lexington is actually higher than it is in here. 12 cents a kilowatt hour. They're saying Alfred is 11 cents a kilowatt hour. I don't think that to be true, but whatever. Natural gas is a lot cheaper in Lexington. Yes, that's fantastic. That's a big deal. How homes are heated in Lexington, Virginia, which is the orange, right? Yeah, no, Alfred is the orange. Oh, 61% of the people in Lexington heat their homes with natural gas. That is huge, man. That is big. So I have to see that. I got to have lots of natural gas. So that's fantastic. And look at this, the heating index, the higher you are, the more heat you need, if that makes sense. The lower you are, the more of a lesser cold climate you're in. So here we got 6.3% because it's in the mountains. It gets colder in the winter for sure. And you can see in the summer comfort index is uncomfortable. It's not oppressive because you're in the mountains a little bit cooler. But it's still hot and humid out there. I'm just telling you, man, it's hot and humid in the western part of Virginia, but it's not quite as bad. In the summer times, while it's a little bit less oppressive than Alfred, it's still pretty hot and humid in Lexington. So you got a little bit less humidity, a little bit less. So that's good. So that's definitely on the place for old Josh later on when the kiddos are out of the school for us to relocate to. Typical temperature at night, 29 degrees in Alpharetta. In the winter, 22 in Lexington. Typical temperature of cool summer night, 62 degrees in Alpharetta, 67 degrees in Alpharetta, and 62 degrees in Lexington. So you can see that definitely cooler in Lexington because you're just higher up and you're a little bit more north too as well, obviously. So that's pretty interesting. I like the fact they're heating with natural gas. That makes me happy. And by the way, you can do your own thing on best places. I don't think I can't. I'm sure I don't get. You can sign up for their YouTube channel right there. And I don't get any. I mean, if you sign up for them, pay $100. I pay $9.99 a month, or I think I pay $100 a year. You get your own thing for free. Not for free, but it's worth it if you're looking at relocating. So look at taxes. The property tax in Lexington are quite cheap, actually. So state income tax in Virginia is higher than that of Georgia. Now, just keep that in mind. State income tax in Virginia is higher than that of Georgia, but you're going to make that back in the real property tax right here. So 53% less in real property tax. The state income tax is not my concern. My concern is property tax, man. Look at that. Now, again, they're going to get you a $600 annual car registration on a $25,000 car. That sucks, man. No other way around that. But you are saving a boatload in property tax, and that's a big deal. So if we go down here, real estate taxes, you're saving $2,000 in real estate taxes on the median home in Alpharetta and Lexington. That's a big deal. Because you can always work around the state income tax, and even the federal tax by just doing some Roth conversions and stuff. But I tell you, man. All right, so let's go to, and lastly, let's go to Roanoke. Because Roanoke is south of Lexington, a little bit more urban. There, right here. So Alpharetta, and then we'll go to another town. So Lexington is on the list. Roanoke, 70,000 people live in Roanoke, roughly. Williamsburg is not on the list. Some places in the Chesapeake Bay region I'd consider for sure. Not going to go over that here today because the places are kind of small. Roanoke is significantly. Right here, $100,000 now, Alpharetta. You need about 70,000 in Roanoke. So that's pretty good, man. That's good stuff there. Go to housing. Look at that, 59% less in housing in Roanoke than in Alpharetta. That's a big deal. The median house now Roanoke's Roanoke's a nice place. And when I say Roanoke, the city itself, but all the places around there, and I don't know if they're doing the metropolitan index or area, but it just gives you a gauge and say, okay, if you can get, it's going to be cheaper in Roanoke than Alpharetta, simply because if it's going to be 158,000 in the city proper, even if you go to the inner suburbs, because it's not that big of a city, you're going to be able to find a house in Roanoke for a hell of a lot less cheaper than in Alpharetta. Look at that, 158,000 property tax, 1% property tax, and 1% property tax in Alpharetta, but just because the cost of the houses, look at that, man. Housing appreciation, here's Roanoke right there, 5.7 in the last year, 15.5 in the last 5 years, and Alpharetta is at 43.3. Alpharetta is just booming. Oh, that's interesting. That is interesting. Alpharetta is just booming for pricing, and that, look at that. Virginia, at least Roanoke hasn't kept up. Hasn't even kept up with the national average. The national average is 35.6. What to make of that? That's interesting. What does this do right there? Okay, just print, download, just you download spreadsheets. Interesting. All right, so let's keep going. Let's do we already look at utilities? I can't remember. So let's see if they have natural gas and 11 cents a kilowatt hour in Roanoke, 11 cents a kilowatt hour in Alpharetta. Cheaper natural gas there as well. All right. And in Roanoke, 47% of the people use natural gas to heat their homes. Okay. Let's go to climate, and roughly the same. Roughly the same as, because it's not on the mountains. Lexington's in the mountains, Roanoke's in the valley. Humidity is a little bit less, yeah, but it's still, Roanoke's not gonna do it for me. All right, cool. So let's look at Milton, Georgia. Am I using locals? Concerned you're going to get shadow banned, if not outright. I don't even know what that means. Carl, what do you mean by that? I'm not even. Oh, moved it. Yeah, Charlottesville, man. I tell you, I'm not looking at Charlottesville. Even that whole area, like, I don't get what you mean by local. I'm not sure what locals are. Crozet, freaking gorgeous. Gorgeous. But the problem is all these people from New York and everything moving in. Let's look at Crozet. It's, oh, man. It is Alpharetta, Georgia. Let's look at Crozet. Oh yeah, it's just fantastic. That area around there, Nelson County and whatnot, Albemarle County. But you do have these carpetbaggers, not just from Maryland and DC, man. You got carpetbaggers from New York as well. All right, so Crozet is not cheap. Look at that; it's roughly the same as Alpharetta. Pretty close, pretty close. Let's look at housing. Well, yeah, housing is about the same as Alpharetta right there, 368 to 389. Yeah, that's not good. Property tax is a little bit cheaper in Crozet than Alpharetta. Housing appreciation, again, Virginia is just less, which is, I wonder if all those carpetbaggers have run up the prices before that, back in the early part of the aughts. And Alpharetta is 43%. That's nuts. All right, let's see how they, and Crozet and Charlottesville, let's see how they heat their house. In Crozet, they heat not 48, no, only 15% use natural gas. That tells you it's liberal right there. Look at that. 65% use electricity to heat their homes. That's freaking stupid, man. All right, so that kind of tells you all you need to know. Let's look at taxes real quick. I'm sure it's gonna be the same. They don't really have local on here, so let's just load down here. Yeah, it's roughly the same. So let's, I tell you what, I do want to look at Charlottesville. I want to look at, how do we do that again? We went to, let's compare, so you compare. Let's look at Crozet, Virginia, and we're going to compare that to Lexington. I'm sure Lexington, Virginia is liberal because it's college town, but let's take a look, and we're going to look at politics. Yeah. Yep. There you go. So Lexington, Virginia, liberal. Crozet is liberal. There you go. All right. So let's look at, let's go cost of living. Well, I want to look at, I want to look at Crozet. Oh, Charlottesville. Let's look at Charlottesville too. I wonder if, because, man, I tell you, Alpharetta. All right. Charlottesville, Virginia. So you can't be, I'm telling you, man, it makes no sense to heat your house with electricity. That's just stupid. Don't do that. So let's look at Charlottesville. There's a lot of crappy places in Charlottesville. Everyone thinks Charlottesville is all that in a bag of chips. There's a lot of crappy places in Charlottesville, man. Trust me, we know Charlottesville well. Let's look at utilities. How do they heat their house? Oh, well, natural gas, 46% use natural gas in Charlottesville. So Crozet, I'm sure, is because the rich, snotty guys are saying, we want to ban fossil fuels. That's interesting. So Lexington, that area is for me. Other than, I think someone said the Bay portions of Virginia. My man M was stationed in Langley, yep, and one way in, one way out. You're not going anywhere. Yeah, that's yeah, geothermal. Robert, I'm actually living in Milton. Hold on a second. That's where I live in Milton, but Alpharetta is a bigger town, so it's got. So basically, what happened was Alpharetta was bigger, and then it split off in 2006. The west part of Alpharetta, where I live in Milton, and then the east part is called Johns Creek, and so there's like 3 different communities for where there was one, if that makes sense. Milton's kind of like horse country, definitely upper middle class for sure, hoity-toity, just like me. And then Johns Creek was just too man, it's like postage stamp places. That didn't do anything for me at all. There are fine people on both sides in Charlottesville. All right, so let's go. I want to look at West Virginia. Let's look at West Virginia, and we're going to look at Charleston, West Virginia. And my wife will never live in Charleston, West Virginia. She's from Virginia, and that'd be like saying you're going to live in Massachusetts if you're from Maine. It ain't going to happen. So, but I like West Virginia. Big fan, first time, long time. So let's look at West Virginia here. Charleston, West Virginia. How much does 100,000 in Charleston go? Look at that. Basically 67,000. Huge savings, man. That's what I'm talking about. Huge savings. All right, let's look at housing. The median cost of housing in Charleston, West Virginia is 106,000. Obviously, there's going to be some crappy places there. I get that, but I'm just saying. If a non-crappy place is, if a median place is 106, a non-crappy place, we'll just say 200,000. That's not too shabby. Homeowners property tax is 0.71. Woo-wee. Appreciation over the last 5 years, 7% in West Virginia because there's a dying population. Look at that, it's 9%, and then last year lost 2.1%. Nuts, man. All right, let's keep going. Let's look at utilities. I guarantee do they use natural gas? They just use good old-fashioned coal. Let's see what we got here. 9 cents a kilowatt hour in West Virginia. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, then no, they use natural gas, 51% in Charleston, West Virginia. It's right on, man. All right, cool. That's right. Oh, here we go. Heating index. So you need more heat than you do in Alpharetta. You need less AC than you do in Alpharetta. Humidity is still not, it's still there. It's not low, that's for sure. And it's uncomfortable in the summer times. So now the winter time is roughly the same as Alpharetta for cold. Typical temperature on a normal winter day, still in the 50s. That's pretty good, man. All right. 85 is the typical temperature on a hot summer day. All right. Gotcha. Let's keep going. Let's go to taxes. And I know it's going to be health insurance in West Virginia. It's going to be nuts because there's hardly any doctors. No sales tax on food in Charleston. State and sales tax is low. All right. State income tax is low relative to here. All right. Taxes overall. It's auto registration. So they only charge you $245 for a $25,000 annual registration car in West Virginia. That's what I'm talking about. So if you scroll down here, you got 5.3% effective rate in West Virginia when you factor in sales tax, real estate taxes. That seems awful high to me. They must have you as a single guy here. So we'll go with it. But I'm more looking at this right here, real estate taxes. That's the big one because I'm telling you, income tax you can work around. All right, cool, man. All right, that's good stuff. Property tax, look at that. Property tax on median home. Oof, painful to see. Tax on Social Security, Charleston, West Virginia. Tax to the extent they're taxed at the federal level. All right, so again, if you have lower income, you're not going to have to pay Social Security taxes in Charleston, West Virginia. If you have higher income, you're gonna. That's all there is to it. Sales tax, we talked about that. All right. Well, transfer tax percentage now for is 0.8%. Wow. All right, so let's keep going. All right, let's go to now I want to go to Rapid City. All right, so let's go to Rapid City, compare. So I'm going there here in a few weeks. Alpharetta to Rapid City. I think well, let's just keep comparing to Rapid City to where I'm at now. We say $100,000. Waiting for my hot tea. No one's bringing my hot tea. Ooh, look at that. 75,000 roughly. It's 25% less to live in Rapid City than it does here. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go to housing. The median house in Rapid City is look at that, $200,000, man. 46% less than here. Nuts. That's fantastic. Property tax is let's say 1.5. So it's a higher effective property tax rate, but you have a lower property value. So you're actually paying less. I like that. Appreciation in Rapid City was only 22% in the last 5 years. 30% in the last 7 years, which is higher than the U.S. average, but lower than the U.S. average for the last 5. Interesting. Huh. Interesting. All right, let's see who is searching for Oswego, New York, man? Why would anyone even look at Oswego, New York? All right, let's look at utilities. 77.8% less than utility bill. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, yeah, look at that. Natural gas, baby, in Rapid City. 58% of the population heats with natural gas. Oh, yeah. That's good stuff. That's what I like to see. Oh, heating index, you need a lot more heat because it's cold. Imagine that. But you need a lot less air conditioning. So again, if the lower the number is, the less you need of that. So here you need more air conditioning in Alpharetta and a lot less in Rapid City. And heating, you need a lot more heat in Rapid City and less in Alpharetta. Now, of course, it costs more to heat your home than it does to cool it. That's a fact. So just keep that in mind. In terms of overall cost, living in the north is more expensive than living in the south relative to heating and air conditioning. It just doesn't cost so much to cool your house as it does to heat. But that depends on how you heat your house. I get that, but generally speaking, that's true. Especially with electricity. Electricity is just not an efficient use for heating your home. It doesn't make sense. I don't get why everyone's all up in arms like, we want electric. No, don't do that. But look at summer comfort index, pleasant. Yeah, I like that. But here's the problem. Typical temperature of normal winter day, 42 degrees. That ain't bad, man. Interesting. But typical temperature of normal winter night, yikes, 15 degrees. Stay out. Typical temperature of hot summer day, 86. Typical temperature of hot summer. So about the same. All right, cool. Let's go to health. JJG said he saved 20% from moving from New Jersey to North Carolina. Yeah, man, I get you. Wait for my hot tea. Where's my hot tea? All right, so health. Yeah, look at 25% more health costs in health in Rapid City than it does in Georgia because you have less docks. All right, so that's not good. Insurance premiums are much higher in Rapid City than they are, 51% higher than they are here in Alpharetta, and 28% higher than the U.S. average. Yikes. And you can get hip knee pneumonia, heart failure. It's about the average for the U.S., but Alpharetta is a little bit cheaper. Heart attack hospital, pneumonia in the hospital, premium increases. Since 2014, Rapid City has a 94% premium increase. Alpharetta 67, and U.S. average is 113%. That's nuts. 2018 and 19, we had a negative health in the U.S. premium increases. 57% 2016 to 17. What the hell? 57%, dude. The whole thing's such a scam. All right, let's keep going. And go back to taxes here. So there's no state income tax in Rapid City, but the sales tax, no. Sales tax is less in Rapid City than is in Alpharetta, and there's no state income tax? Look at that. Taxes overall are 27% less. How can that, how can sales tax on food, but how can they, the sales tax is less in Rapid City, real estate taxes are less in Rapid City, and there's no state income tax. Our real estate tax is more, but the price of houses is less. That's interesting. And they don't have a car register. Oh, dude, all right, you got to pay a little bit more in health insurance, but dude, that's nuts, man. Is that my hot tea? Anybody? Chloe? Look at that, man. Ooh, Nelly. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. Effective rate in South Dakota, big fat goose egg, because there's no state income tax. Sales. Wow. That's all I gotta say about that. Chalk one up to thanks, babes. What, you don't want to be on the camera? Everyone wants to see you. She's in her jammies. That was actually Pablo Bing. I don't have a wife. I just pretend. That's nuts. Now the question is, I'll tell you what the scenery is. I'm going there in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. When I'm going there, November. I can't remember. I'm going there someplace. I already got everything booked. I'm going to tell you what it's like there. I will let you know. I'm cautiously pessimistic because I've every time I go someplace, like, man, that place sucks. But anyway, commute. 38% less in Rapid City. That's what I'm talking about. Gas is a little bit more expensive. Auto insurance is less expensive. That would make sense. Let's go to commute here. Average commute time is 15 minutes in Rapid City. That is what I'm talking about. Percent of super commuters over 90 minutes. Ugh. All right, cool. What's Oswego is in New York. That's where Oswego State is. Someone who asked about Oswego. That's we used to, when I was in the Army in Fort Drum, we used to go to Oswego State to party. We go to, when we were under the age of 21, we go up to Kingston, Ontario, and then we go to, that's when I was 18, because you could drink in Kingston at 18. You had to go to Ottawa, you had to be 19. I wasn't 19, so I remember sitting there. All my friends were 19. I'm just sitting there like, dude, I was only 18, literally sitting outside, nuts. But anyway, once you hit 19, you go to Ottawa, and then once you hit 21, you hit the Oswego State. That's a college town. Potsdam. I had a dating a chick up in Potsdam. She was really nice. I can't remember her name. I mean, we just, it was just a real quick and simple relationship. Nothing. Don't get your head out of the gutter. But I liked her. She liked me, but nothing there. She was in Potsdam, and then where else we went? We go to Syracuse quite a bit. Every now and again, go to Rochester. Saw suicidal tendencies in Rochester. Saw nuclear assault in Syracuse. Who else? We saw a couple other bands down there. I forgot. But and we go see the Syracuse Chiefs, used to be the AAA baseball team. And then we go see in Rochester. And I don't think we went to Rochester that much. But anyway, all right, let's keep going here. We got, let's look at Bozeman, Montana. Let's look at Bozeman, Montana. Sioux Falls, yeah, man. Keith says he lives in Sioux Falls. It gets really cold here. Yeah, I don't know, John. John says he expects as you get older. Man, Robert, my commute is literally 15 seconds. My commute is Pablo taking him for a walk. Yeah, no, that's the whole thing. The Black Hills, right on, man. Johnny C says he expects it doesn't. We get older, proximity to family will take precedence over cost of living. If you have money, sure, but if you don't have any money, probably not. If you're living on cat food, the cost of living is going to be a big deal for sure. Los Angeles, Montana. Ugh. My man Robert says, "Sell me your house for a good deal, man." Where are you at? Where are you coming from? Where are you coming from, Robert? That's interesting. Milton, look, I don't want to sound like I'm down on Milton. I like it here. I'm not bagging on the place. I'm not bagging on Alpharetta. I've always liked moving. I enjoy it. I like finding new places. It's always been in my nature, man. Got to be I should have been a country singer. Got to be a rover. You know what I'm saying? Got to be a rover. Should have been a hobo. If I was in the 1920s, I'd be a hobo. That's what I should do. A YouTube hoboing channel. You know what I'm saying? Being a hobo. I love trying new places, and it's just fun for me. And you know, we've been here longer than we've been. We were in Virginia, in Dayton, Virginia, from 2001 to 2008, and we've been here from 2013 to now. So we've been here longer than we've been anywhere, other than my wife, where she's from, and then other than me in Maine. This is the second longest we've ever been. And after a while, I get bored. I'm not gonna lie to you. It drives my wife insane because we talk about it. But oh, I know where I want to look. Bellingham, Washington. I know Washington is nuts, but let's just check it out. So let's look, because Cole and I were talking about this today. As a matter of fact, Bellingham. We love Bellingham when we were out there. Actually, let's look at Bellingham in terms of city. Let's go to city compare. Alpharetta, Georgia. Now I tell you what, for city, let's do it. We're gonna go to Bellingham, Washington. Bellingham, Washington. Oh, this will be fun. Blue Ridge, man, it's freaking. Oh, you're in Robert. You're in Long Island, New York. Right on. All right, let's see politics in Bellingham. How many libs are up there? Hey, all right, they got more Republicans than we do here in Alpharetta. All right. Truth be told, though, my friends, let me show you. Truth be told, Milton, Georgia. I don't even know how many Republicans we got here in Milton, Georgia. Let's take a gander. Milton, Georgia. Do I have to do it? I have to do a compare. Okay, Bellingham. So how many Republicans we got here? Whoa. Nah, man, 67% is Democrat Milton. Nah, that's nuts. That's nuts. That can't be right. 67%. No way. Wow. That let's go to Canton, Georgia. No, let's go to Blue Ridge, Georgia. Blue Ridge, where my man Fritz is living, because that can't be, man. And we'll just go to Milton. That can't be. Now we are in Fulton County, so Blue Ridge, Georgia is 81% Republican. Okay, gotcha. Of course, not that many people there. That's nuts. All right, let's keep going. Let's go to Bellingham, cost of living. All right, so Lydia is on here, right on. We got Keith, not a big fan of Metro. Yeah, man, Atlanta doesn't, I tell you, it doesn't do it for me. I mean, I know it's a lot of people like it, you know, hot Atlanta, I don't know. I drove through downtown the other day, just on a Saturday or Sunday, I got stuck in traffic. It's like, dude, this is crazy. All right, so let's go to Alpharetta, and then we're going to go to Bellingham, Washington. But I'm not, you know, we lived in Haddonfield, New Jersey, all right? And that's Camden County, all right? So people say, you just want to live in a bubble. No, we enjoyed Haddonfield immensely. Our neighbors are great, but I lived next to a retired Marine Corps colonel. Next to him was a retired CIA officer. The retired Marine Corps colonel was Spanish. He's like not Puerto Rican, Dominican. And he was a right winger, as am I for the most part. The guy next to him was pretty right wing, and then but their wives were left. And it's funny, this guy's wife was far left, nicest person you ever met, nicest people you've ever met. But we just had fun on 4th of July, you know what I'm saying? Just, and the people right next down here, they were pretty lefties too, like a union left. And I'm sure they're probably Trumpsters now, because, you know, the unions, there's no such thing as a private sector union lefty anymore for the most part. So, but it was fun. So we'd have, you know, just gather around. It was just a good time, man. It was a good time. I enjoyed it immensely. Just freaking too expensive. So here's Bellingham, Washington. Yikes, about the same thing as is here. Ooh, it ain't gonna work. Let's look at housing. For some reason, Lydia, they are hiding your comments. I don't know why. So I'm not sure why they're hiding your comments. So I have to unhide them. So if you don't see your comments showing up right away, Lydia, I don't know why it's being hidden, but hopefully it won't be anymore. This is bestplaces.net. So look at that, man. The median house in Bellingham, Washington, $429. Yeah, that's not gonna see. When I get out of here, I'm trying to down my housing cost. That ain't gonna work for me. How do they heat their houses in Bellingham? I gotta believe with all the hydro out in Washington, it's gotta be cheap as can be out there, right? All right. They're still saying 10 cents a kilowatt hour. And they heat their house in Bellingham by 43% natural gas. That's still better than nothing. All right, cool. All right, good. So now let's. That's too expensive for me. I'm trying to. Utilities are 30% less than they are in Bellingham than Alpharetta. I'm sure it's because they got hydro. No, I'm sure they got hydro there. Let's go to overview real quick. Yeah, look at that. About the same thing in Bellingham as it is here. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to avoid. Now, there is no state income tax in Washington, but watch, I bet if we look at taxes on the property tax, I bet it's freaking through the roof there. No sales tax on food, no state income tax. They don't hammer you on annual vehicle registration. That's good. Let's look at real estate tax. Not bad. About the same as here, about 1%. That's not so bad. That's not so bad. But then you got, I don't know, Bellingham. I just like Bellingham. When we went out there, I freaking loved it. All right, let's look at Bozeman. So my man says Bose Angeles. Is that what he says? So is Bozeman not the place? It was a Billings. What's the other? Is it Bozeman, Billings, and there's another one too. Bozeman, Billings. Let's just look at Bozeman, Montana, and we'll compare it again to where we are right now. Bozeman, Billings, and what's the other one in Montana? Bozeman, Billings, another like Missoula. That's what it is, Missoula. All right, let's yeah, I don't know why all the messages you have are not showing up. I don't know, Lydia. That's weird. All right, so let's take a look. Here's Bozeman, Montana. Pretty close. Oh, it's actually more expensive than Bozeman. Oh, wait, no. I got to fix that around. Okay, so I made Bozeman first. So basically, it costs more to live in Alpharetta than Bozeman, but not by much, man. So let's look at homes in Bozeman. Because, again, housing is your most expensive thing, man. That's all there is to it. Bozeman, Montana houses are more expensive than Alpharetta. The median house in Bozeman, $434. The median house in Alpharetta, $389. Flipping nuts, man. Bozeman, Montana? What? $434? The hell? Property taxes are a little bit cheaper, but not much. Damn. Here's Bozeman, Montana's appreciated 48% compared to Alpharetta, only 43%. What's the deal with Bozeman, Montana? Oh, that's crazy. At least it's cheaper for utilities out there. So Bozeman, Montana is about 13% cheaper for utilities. 10 cents a kilowatt hour. Look at natural gas. That's what I'm talking about. Only $8. That's what I'm talking about. Heating oil is more expensive, but in Bozeman, Montana, oh man, 57% of the people heat their homes with natural gas. Oh, put that in your peace pipe and smoke it, Tom Steyer. Oh yeah, that's awesome. Ooh, but look at this AC index. You don't need much AC. You know why? Because it doesn't get very cold. It doesn't get very high. But heating index, you need a lot of heat because it's cold out that way. Did I do that for Rapid City? I think I did. Humidity, not much humidity. Look at that. Ooh, I don't think I did the humidity index for Rapid City. I gotta look at that. It's dry. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Typical temperature at night, 14. Look at that. Typical temperature of a cool summer night, 47 degrees. Brr. That doesn't bother me. Dry is dry. So that means that, no, man, that's what I'm talking about. All right, cool. Did I hit the, let's hit taxes though, because they do have a state income tax in Montana. Montana's not that favorable, frankly. Yeah, state income tax is 28% more in Montana than it is in US. That's nuts, man. All right, so Montana has a higher tax rate with real estate taxes, state income taxes than we do here in the good state of Georgia. Wow. I'm sure in Bozeman they do same thing. They do tax Social Security in Montana. All right, that's nuts. No, that's not going to work. All right, so I got to go back to. Sorry guys, I got to go back to Rapid City. I didn't see what did I see what the humidity thing was? Because I got to see the humidity. Because the humidity is what I can't take, man. I got to get the hell out of humidity. All right, so I mean, it's one thing if it's humid in 75 degrees. It's a whole nother thing if it's humid in freaking what was that? It was under. So if it's 90 like we get here, nope, we got to go to. Is it health? No, where was that? Utilities? Maybe it was utilities. All right, hold on a sec. So here's. Oh, humidity index 4.3 in Rapid City. Oh yeah, that's nice. All right, cool. So let's look at smoke and fire. This allows your future to move to Western Montana. Yeah, I think that's right. Bring on the pain says 434 in the mountains, and there's nothing to do out there. Californians moving in like crazy. The Big Bang Theory. I know. Oh, that show. I never watched it. It was based in Bozeman, Montana. Los Angeles. Oh boy, Missoula. Let's look at Missoula real quick. Is that as bad? I don't want to live in some freaking crazy lib town, man. With college kids. I got no desire to do that. Let's look at Missoula. All right, so Bozeman is now DX'd. We're going to compare it to Alpharetta. All right, we're going to say $100,000. And well, I put $1 million in there. Yeah. All right, we'll just we'll leave it there. All right, so it costs 224% more in Alpharetta than it does in Missoula. That's good. All right, so let's look at housing. Alpharetta houses are 27% more than in Missoula. All right, all right. Anyone know anything about Missoula? Still University City. Yeah, but low humidity is good for allergies. Of course, we did live in Phoenix, and she had allergies back then too. But we think it's because the cactuses, the swallows. There ain't no swallows in Texas. Did y'all know that? Ain't no swallows in Texas. You know who sings that song? The Reverend Horton Heat. So if you're saying there's a swallow in Texas, you are dead wrong, my friends. Ain't no swallows in Texas. Anyway, so Missoula median housing is less expensive than here by 27%. That's what I'm talking about. They got 1% property tax rate. Housing appreciation in Missoula has only been 30% over the last 5 years. Is Missoula in the mountains, or is it like some flatland? I just can't take the flatland, man. That's one of the reasons. We lived in San Antonio, right north of San Antonio. The beginning of the hill country, still too flat and brown and flat. That did nothing for me. Oh boy, Dad grew up in Bozeman, moved back, and has been yeah. All right, so there's Long Beach. Yeah, we'll look at. All right, let's look at. Just look at taxes here real quick. Yeah, see, no. Yeah, see, they got Oh, that's what I'm doing. All right, so they do have, yeah, so the effective tax rate in Montana is higher. I knew that. I knew Montana was higher than it is in the other places. So Lydia says, look at Long Beach, California. All right, so let's see Alpharetta, Georgia, compared to Long Beach, California, and we'll say you make $100,000 a year because it's a nice round number. It costs you basically probably 20% more to live in Long Beach, California than it does here. And the reason for that, I imagine, it's got to be housing, right? Let's take a look. Yeah, look, holy crap. 600,000 for the median house in Long Beach. What the hell? Now, it might be a beach, right? So it's a beach? Oh, for the love of the good Lord. But they have a lower property tax rate, so that's good. But they have 600,000. Oh, let's do utilities. I'm sure they're going to ban natural gas. Yeah, 16 cents a kilowatt hour. And it's only going to get more. They start freaking banning other sources of electricity production, and they're going to start but they're going to ban sources of electricity production and add to the load by making every car EV. California is a freaking fantasy land. It's nuts. I even say this in my video today when I said why I'm leaving California. But anyway, the issue they're going after dirty energy. And then which is going to reduce the supply for said electricity in this case, and they're going to increase the load by demanding more electric vehicles. And I'm sure natural gas they're going to say, no, we can't have that. We're going to. The whole place is nuts. I mean, who thinks you can do this? It's insane. You cannot have a grid with just based on solar panels and freaking wind turbines. You can't, man. And then ban ICEs and have electric vehicles. It's insanely stupid. It's just dumb. They say follow the science. There's no science that says you can do this. None. All right. Anyway, let's see what the cost of AC index, and yeah, look at that. Ooh, heating index. You don't need much heat, and you don't need much AC. A little bit more AC than heat. So that's why it's so expensive. Their summer comfort index is comfortable. There you go. That's the issue why California is so doggone expensive. Ooh, but humidity is even more humid than we had at Rapid City. So that's interesting. Oh, one place I want to look. Prescott, Arizona. That's a place I can handle right there. If I can convince my wife to move back to Arizona, but I'm not sure I want to move there. Let's go to Prescott Valley. We're going to compare that to Alpharetta. We go up there a couple of times when we lived in Phoenix, and I enjoyed it. So let's look at 100,000. And I'm sure this is, going on 15 years since we lived there. So I'm sure it's crazy expensive in Prescott. Oh, no, it's less expensive than here. Nuts. All right, cool. Ooh, I like that. Let's look at housing. The median house in Prescott is 45% less than the median house in Alpharetta. Right on, man. That's what I'm talking about. And property tax in Prescott is less than 70 basis points. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Appreciation of homes is only right there, 42% in Prescott Valley and only 19% over the last 10 years. Yeah. All right. I'm liking, oh, let's keep going. Utilities. How do you, you still got to heat your house on occasion. Yeah, I would think the electricity up there, 13 cents a kilowatt hour. Let's see how they're heating their homes up there. In Prescott, they are heating it half the population. That's important, man, because if half the population is heating their home with natural gas, the liberals aren't going to come in there and ban natural gas. It's not going to happen. They're going to be freaking pitchforks. Now, maybe Prescott, maybe, but in places in the north, hell no, man. They're going to say, no, you're not taking away our natural gas, Cuomo, because that's how we heat our homes. And people die with coal. Oh, that's fantastic. All right, so good. I'm a big fan. And the heating, look at that. Heating index, it's about the same here as in Georgia. You need a little bit more heat in Prescott because it's up in the mountains. You need less AC in Prescott because it's up in the mountains, less humidity, pleasant in the summertime. 90 degrees, but it's a dry heat. Stick your head in the oven, it's a dry heat, but still, it's not nearly as bad as in Phoenix. Typical temperature at night is 59 degrees. Oh yeah, Prescott, man. Oh yeah, let's keep looking. Let's look at taxes. All right, taxes 91 to 116. You pay 25% more taxes by being here. Oh man, state income tax significantly less in Arizona. Now that's what I'm talking about, man. Property tax, yeah, yeah. Look at that. Annual vehicle registration is only 248 bucks, 250 bucks. That's like what, 10 basis points, something like that. That's nothing, man. That's what I'm talking about. So look at that. Effective tax rate significantly less in Arizona than Alpharetta. Oh yeah. All right. Let's see what else. We don't need. We already did all. What do they got for miscellaneous? We haven't looked at that yet. Oh, they just say miscellaneous. Okay. Let's look at health. How much does it cost for health care? 20% less in Prescott Valley. No. 20%. Wait, what is that? 20% more. Okay, 20%. Okay, it's significantly more expensive for healthcare in Prescott than here. Insurance premiums, and I'll do videos on this specifically going through the next few months. I'm going to compare states and I'm going to compare cities, like some of the cities I'm looking at, just to kind of go into it. I'm going to look at Google. My man from Austin, if I could share it, I don't know if I have this here. Yeah, he showed me his upload and download speeds in Austin. It's freaking nuts, man. He hold on just a second if I can find it. I'm not going to share his name or anything like that, but yeah, right here. He got 966 megabytes per second down, and on the up 942. I was like, dude, what the hell? And I said, he gets Google Fiber internet only for 70 bucks. Dude, that's nuts. Oh, speaking of which, let's look at Huntsville. Oh yeah, because Google Fiber is coming to Huntsville, Alabama, man. Right here. So let's go to Alpharetta and go to Huntsville. Man, Huntsville is freaking. Now it's gonna be humid there, but it's up more so. It's not in the. It's up higher elevation, but still humid. But Huntsville is fantastic. All right, so let's look at that. 70,000 bucks in Huntsville compared to where we are here. And they're gonna have Google Fiber. Oh, Huntsville. I love you, Huntsville. So housing in Huntsville, the median home is 153,000. They got University of Alabama, Huntsville, and you know the two science guys, the climate, the McIntyre. I don't think it's McIntyre. I got to look. I'm drawing a blank. It's not Bill McIntyre. It's Roy Spencer. He's one of the guys in the. He does a satellite data for climate change research at UAH. Freaking awesome guy. I think they actually threatened his life because he didn't toe the line for the climate change idiots. I forget what Roy Spencer, freaking awesome. And but anyway, he's at UAH. Huntsville's fantastic. I love Huntsville. So look at that. 153. It's literally less than half price to live in Huntsville. Nuts. And taxes are a hell of a lot cheaper. Look at that. Property taxes, 55 basis points. Look at that. It's only increased by 19% over the last 5 years, 9% over the last 10. But yet the last year, Huntsville's actually gone up more so than Alpharetta. Why? Because it's got cheap relative to here. All right, let's take a look at the climate there. Utilities. How they heat in their homes. 10 cents a kilowatt hour. Everything is right about Alabama. I'm just telling you right now. Everything is right. Ooh, don't like that. 72% are heating their homes with electricity. Ooh. Still 23% heating with natural gas. So you'd have to find a house that's got natural gas. I don't like that at all. But how much do you really use for heat? I will not go to electricity for heating. The baseboard is electricity, if I'm not mistaken. The heating index is less. You don't need to heat as much as you do here. So there you go. That might be one I'd take for the team there. Humidity is higher in Huntsville. I would have thought it'd been less, actually. AC index is higher. So oppressive summer. Man, the humidity kills me. All right, we did Huntsville. Let's do Fort Collins, Colorado. Fort Collins, Colorado. and we're going to compare it to Alpharetta. All right. All right. Fort Collins, Colorado. We had, when I could not find, when we go to the Great American Beer Festival in Denver, why is it not showing up there? I remember we had a couple of times we went up to there we go, to Fort Collins and check out Cheyenne and stuff. I think I did that twice. Just got in a car and drove up there and saw the buffalo or the bison on the side of the road. It was crazy. So I like Fort Collins. My brother's wife's sister lives there. I don't know if they still do or not. No, they live in Boulder. I think they might live in Boulder. Anyway, all right. So a little bit less expensive there than here in Fort Collins. All right. Let's go to housing. Rough, almost identical to the price in Fort Collins as Alpharetta. All right. Property tax is much cheaper in Fort Collins. Wow. 60 basis points. Appreciation in Fort Collins is, whoa, look at that. 72% in 10 years. Damn. That's nuts, man. Look at that, 72%. Eesh. All right, let's go to utilities. Cheaper and utilities in Fort Collins than here. Natural gas a whole lot cheaper in Fort Collins. That's weird. And Fort Collins, 72% use natural gas to heat their homes. And because I'm sure the technology's got to be freaking stellar there because it's a college town. Well, that's nuts. AC index, you don't need the AC as much, but you do need more heat. Humidity, look at that. Yeah. Anyone ever been to anyone know anything about Fort Collins? Yeah, good point. For a place like Huntsville, that's what my man says, you get a good heat pump. That's true. I agree. Huntsville, that's a good point. Heat pumps should work pretty well in the South. I agree. That's good. I'm glad that's a good point, man. Hey, right on. I don't know why it shows up. It wasn't showing up, Lydia. That's weird to me. Now, Bill and I. No, it's weird. I didn't ban you. I like you, so I'm not sure why they would have why that's showing up. But anyway, and I don't know if I can well, I guess I can't now. They want to increase property tax in California. They want to tax market value versus purchase price. Yeah, that's okay. I got you. But that's what they do most places. They tax market value, not purchase price. That's what we do here. So Ashley, Colorado, ironically, lived in Fort Collins, a lovely place to live. Let's take a look, Ashley, at all right, is there any Republicans there? Can you own firearms? All right, so I want to back up just a tad. My man said about heat pumps. Heat pumps are an electric heat for the South. That's a good point. I forgot. Being from the North, I forget how good heat pumps can be. That's a great point. Whoever said that, I appreciate that, ma'am. Because it's when you're from the North, you don't have heat. I mean, you can have heat pump certainly, but you're not going to heat your home with a heat pump to make sure you don't freeze to death at night. That's for sure. So being from the North is oil. Mostly oil, natural gas, but mostly oil and heat pumps. As I'm in the South, Africa, we don't have heat pump here. We got natural gas, but we had a heat pump when we lived in Texas, and I had forgotten. So good point. So you can use electricity. That's right. That's a good point. But if they don't, then the question is, then you just got to look at how do you cook your food in natural gas. That wouldn't be a deal breaker for me. That's it. I'm glad, man. Look at that. Yeah, right on. Pacific Northwest. Carol has a heat pump, and again, she's in the Pacific Northwest, so not nearly the same cold as we get in the Northeast. Look at Lydia. She owns a Glock 40, and she's pro-gun. All right. See, that's what I'm talking about, my friends. Lydia's kind of liberal. All right. I'm kind of conservative. People can see things without freaking throwing rotten tomatoes at them. It's interesting. A guy Ken Bone. I don't know if y'all remember him from 2016. He was kind of not a great looking guy, but a heavy guy, short, in a red sweater. He asked a question during the debate. He's literally undecided. And anyway, he was saying, they did an article about him for Newsweek saying, hey, who are you going for this year? Trumpster or Biden? And Ken Bone says, I don't like either of them. And then I guess a couple of days later, he posted on his page, he goes, it's weird because even though people know I don't like Trump, the Trumpsters are always nice to me. Even though people know I don't like Biden, the Biden's people are hating on me. They're freaking screaming bloody murder at me. He goes, do the people on the left not recognize you're pushing people to the right by doing this kind of behavior? And then he's going to vote for Joe Jorgensen, which is fine. I don't care. But it's just weird. I said, because those of us on the right, we don't care. I mean, we just don't want you to take our guns. We don't want you to freaking take our kids. And we don't want you to force a religion, i.e. climate change. And I'm not talking to you, Lydia. I'm just saying about the left. Just leave us be. You do your thing, we do ours, and we get along just fine. But the issue is the left was probably like the right was a while ago. Is the left is just, they've gone crazy. Like if you don't believe what they believe, then it's like you're an apostate. Is that what it is? And it's nuts. And I'm sitting there thinking, what the hell? And I don't know about this silent Trump voter. I don't know. The interesting thing was they did a poll and they said, are you better off now or 4 years ago? And 56% of the people have said they're better off now. That's after, even with COVID, the pandemic crisis that has ensued. If 56% of the people said they're better off now than 4 years ago, and who was vice president 4 years ago? Who was Sniffy Joe? That tells that. Then on top of that, they ask, and they say, who do you think is going to win, Biden or Trump? Or no, they say, who's your neighbor going to vote for? That's what it is. Biden or Trump? And they say Trump. And it's hard to reconcile that there's not potentially a significant silent Trump voter. I'm better off by more than a 50% majority than 4 years ago when Sniffy Joe was in office. And on top of that, I think my neighbor is going to vote for Trump, not Biden. That would lead me to believe there is a secret Trump voter out there. Frank, I don't know. We shall see. But after what we went through in 2016, the funny thing is too, so I'm listening to Tim Pool today, and they're staking the case that the polls in 2016 weren't that far off. I'm like, the hell they weren't. 2 weeks before the election, they had Hillary up by 14%. The ABC or the NBC, all these polls did. It's just what happened is they tightened it up so they could say we weren't that far off our last polls before the election. But they were, I mean, just like they're saying that, there's no way Joe Biden's up 16%. It's simply, it's an impossibility. It's not happening. And I saw that, and I saw CNN and NBC polls. I was like, this is just corrupt as all can be. No one in their right mind believes that Joe Biden is up by 16 and or 14%. No way. And I always go back to when Obama, mopped the floor with freaking stinky John McCain. He won by 5, 6, something like that, which is a landslide. And Obama, the first black guy under the horrible global financial crisis, you know what I'm saying? I mean, after George Bush had horrible approval ratings, people were ready for a change there. And they wanted, just Obama had everything going in his direction. And he only won by 6, 5, 6, something like that. It's 53-47, I think, is less than, something like that. But still, there's no way that Trump, in fact, then they do studies that say, do you like Trump more? Or, so they hated Trump back in 2016. Now they hate him less. It's inherently stupid, this idea that the Biden's good. I find this whole thing nuts. With that said, this is a scary thing about politics. Here in Georgia, Crazy Stacey only lost by 1.5 points. And then in, freaking drug addict, bisexual Gillum only lost by 20,000 votes in Florida or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Where they found, snorting coke, shoot, whatever, however he's smoking meth with his paid prostitute lovers in Florida, in a Florida hotel room. That guy was literally not that many thousand of votes on being the governor. And the difference in Florida, if Gillum won compared to DeSantis, is the difference between night and day. And the same thing happened. You take 100,000 votes, and that's what John Kerry said in 2004. You take, I think he said 60,000 votes, and he's president and not Bush. And I tell you, man, so that's 100% right. And same thing with Trumpster. I think it's about 100,000 votes, and placed on these strategically in these states, and it's Hillary, the cackles. And if she won, I mean, it's a whole different country right now. And that's what I'm just saying. So don't sit there and say my vote doesn't matter. All these libertarian anarchists who I consider myself one, they all say my vote doesn't matter. It doesn't matter until it does, if that makes sense. You see what I'm saying? And that's the issue. I think these guys screw up. They're like, my vote doesn't matter, my vote doesn't matter. That's true. In the overall scheme of a country of 330 million people, it does not matter. In the overall scheme of your precinct, though, it does matter for sure, because your precinct is part of the county, is part of the state, and all that stuff. And so if you were to sit there and say my vote doesn't matter until it does, that's and then when it does, you're like, damn, you could have been the difference between DeSantis and Meth Head Gillum. And that's a whole different state down there in Florida if Gillum won. Nuts. There's no excuse to sit on your hands, dudes. None whatsoever. If you're not freaking voting, you're wrong. And I don't care if you don't like the way Trump's uncouth. I need my Grey Poupon, and Trump makes me feel very like I am going to West Virginia and without my Grey Poupon. Remember those commercials, Grey Poupon? Remember that? The two rich guys would pull up. Oh, excuse me, sir. Might you have some Grey Poupon? And the guy said, of course I do, sir. And because that's what rich guys do. Oh, my goodness. Well, that's the limousine liberals right there. You know what I'm saying? So you might be, I don't like Trump because he talks and blah, blah, blah. No excuse. I'm sorry, dude. You can't be doing that crap. You're going to have to wait until 2024 or even 2022. But, man, get off your high horse and get that stick out of your butt and make sure you get your ass there to vote, because they got the cheat machine. Did you hear all these people, these multiple ballots coming to the people and stuff? It's nuts. Nuts. All right, let's keep going. All right. Well, then why you say you're moving down here, Robert? Robert says he wants to move down here, but he voted for Biden. We don't want you down here, man. Take that Biden stuff and keep it in New York. That doesn't make any sense. Before you said you wanted to vote for you wanted to get it, you want to be one more. I don't get that at all, man. That doesn't make sense. No, stay in Georgia, stay in New York. That way your vote literally doesn't matter. We don't want you down here. There's too many rich people from the north coming down here as it is, which is why Alpharetta is hurting. Maybe it's true, my friends. Robert said he wants to move to Milton, where I live, and I looked up and it said there's a 3-to-1 Democrat to Republican registration here. Maybe that's a reason for that. Maybe rich people in the Northeast, they like these hoity-toity places. I don't know what else to tell you, man. I mean, I'm you can say I'm one of them for sure. I make good money. I've made good money for going on 15 years now. That's interesting to me, though, that the wealthy libs, man, they love living in very non-diverse places. It's funny. It always cracks me up. The most the less integrated, the most homogenous places are generally where the wealthy libs live. Isn't that the funniest? Very interesting to me. Carol C., I don't think I've ever not said how I feel, man. I've all right, there you go, Lydia. All right. Yeah, right on. All right, so let's keep heat pump when you lived in Phoenix. You had a heat pump when I lived in Phoenix too. Right on, Kevin. I don't remember. To be honest, I was so young and ignorant. I have no clue what I had back then. Right on. So Kevin lives in Phoenix, and yeah, and Carol has a heat pump, but she has electric stove. Not a big fan of electric stoves. All right, let's try Crystal River, Florida. There you go. All right, cool. We'll try that. My man Scott Crowell says Crystal River, Florida. I can't see myself living in Florida, brother, but let's try it. Crystal River. There you go. And compare that to where we are. Alpha Retta, Georgia. All right, cool. Crystal River, Florida. Let's see what we got. It's wow, 50% more expensive in Alpharetta than Crystal River. That's what I'm talking about. So let's see what we got. Housing. The median home cost in Crystal River, Florida is $162. Scott, you still on here? Where is Crystal River, Florida? That's what I'm talking about. You could convince me to move to Crystal River, Florida with that kind of cost. Hell yeah. Now, the property tax they get you, 1.25. Oh, look at the increase in the last, even look at that. 61% increase in the last 5 years, and yet still the median is 162. Nuts, man. All right, let's check out utilities. It's gonna be hot as friggin' you know what down there. Hot as Hades. All right, so it's more expensive in Crystal River, Florida for utilities, but that's still right around my price range. Ooh, yeah, and there they go. They heat their house with heat pumps. There you go, 100%. I'm glad someone brought that to my attention. I was thinking baseboards or heaven forbid you got electricity pumping heat in. Yeah, AC index. I'd have to diddy mow in the fall, in the summer, man. That's just too much for me. Oof. But look at that in the summer, in the wintertime, nothing. But you could grow a bunch of orange plants. That's fantastic. All right, so let's take a look at taxes. Oh, look how cheap it is down there. Taxes way cheaper. So the money you saved in Crystal River, Florida, you could use that to go buy a place up north to escape the oppressive summers right there. That's what you should do. Real tax on median property home, 70. Look at that. Nuts, man. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Real estate taxes, half what we pay here. Sales taxes less. No state income taxes. Oh, man. Put down your pipe and smoke it, Governor Kemp. Come on. Jeez Louise. Look at that. That's what we got to look at where Crystal River, Florida is. Hold on just a second. So let me stop real quick. And we're going to find Crystal River, Florida. Google Crystal. Oh, I'm going to, I go to DuckDuckGo. What am I doing? Google. Stop that. Crystal River, Florida. Oh, man. All right, so let's go back here. We're going to go to share screen. We got Crystal River, Florida. Let's go to maps. And it's near water, which I like. Big fan. First time, long time. Oh, man, look at that. It's right there. Where is that? It looks like oh, yeah, dude. That's fantastic. I don't even know where that is. Where is that? You guys see that? Oh, yeah, that is what I'm talking about. Where's like Tampa and stuff? There's Clearwater. Is that, I don't know anything about that Tampa. Is that Clearwater? We go south for the Bradenton, Venice, Cape Coral. I gotta get there's Marco Island. I gotta get my bearings here. I guess what's up here? Bonita Springs. Oh, there's Tampa. Okay, cool. So Crystal River. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Oh, smokes. All right, let's look at realtor.com and look at some houses in Crystal River, Florida. You could buy a house in Crystal River, and then for 3 months out of the year, get the hell out of Dodge. You see, we're gonna do one on Brunswick, Maine next, by the way. Crystal River, Florida. Oh yeah. We're gonna do a 3-2, 1,500 square foot house in Crystal River, Florida. And let's do 3 beds, 2 baths. And we're going to say just a single family. And let's do a minimum of, let's do a minimum of 150,000, shall we? Or 100, we'll say 180,000. All right. That's good. And we'll say our max, we'll say 300, just for giggles. All right. So here we go. We got, what we got here? 284. There we go. So 284. Oh, look at that. You can see the water right there, dudes. 4 beds, 2.5 baths on 3/4 of an acre. You kidding me? For freaking 284? Yeah. Yeah. Look at that. The water's right there. Man. Yes. Let's go to street view if it allows it. Yeah, you could grow some orange trees back there. You don't have to pay for those kind of groceries. I couldn't handle it. I'm not gonna lie. It's for me, it's not natural. to live that well, not natural. So let's go back. Oops, exit map. Oops. And we go, let's just go up to, there we go. All right, there you go. Look at that. Nice. Big fan. I can see some orange trees right there. Oh, yeah, man. Hardwood floors. Yeah. Then you got to worry about the mosquitoes, though. I can't stand mosquitoes. But look at that. It looks good, man. So, electric. But still. You get your propane tank out back, and because I'd be grilling like crazy. I'd be grilling every day out there, man. Hell yeah, this looks great. Is this a 55 plus or something like that, my man Scott? I don't want to live in I can't handle 55 pluses either. That's not, I mean, maybe I could want 55, but I don't think I could. I have a boat on Kings Bay there. It's awesome here. Gulf Coast is better for hurricanes. Man, look, it looks moist. Best fish in the U.S. That house is 3 miles from me. Electric is cheap. It's a co-op. Man. Also, you got only 10 to 15 years before it's all underwater. Exactly. Oh, man, that's fantastic. That's right. My man Marty says he lives at RV, retired, live where I want. My insurance is $1,200 a month for homeowners. Nuts. Only place in the U.S. you can swim with the manatees. Wow. Eve says she just left Roswell, Georgia. What's your opinion of Arkansas? Eve, I don't have much opinion of Arkansas. We went there. When we were moving to Phoenix, Charlotte and I, it was before we had kids, before we were even married. Don't tell the Catholic priest because you're not supposed to do that. But anyway, we had our U-Haul truck stashed, and we had a place, and we could not find a hotel because apparently it's Elvis's, something to do with Elvis. So right there on the border, Arkansas and Tennessee, and we were both tired as could be, and we just pulled off the side of the road, and it was scary, man. It was you could just tell it was not a good part of town. I just said, man, this wasn't good. Now that was literally my only experience with Arkansas, but I think Arkansas does have a lot more crime than you think. I'm sure it's just some certain place. I get all that, but I don't know anything else about it. And I never decided to look. It's kind of like one step up from Louisiana. I love Louisianans. I love them. They're freaking passionate. You know, they love the freaking LSU and they love the freaking Saints, which I can't stand either. But I love Louisianans. I will just never live in Louisiana. It's too freaking wet for me. It's too humid. And I can't do it. And Arkansas for me is like one step up from Louisiana. And that doesn't mean I look down on these people, not in the least. Some of the best people in the world. I know lots of people in Louisiana, love them to death. I can't stand it. I'll never live there. Not happening. And Arkansas is like that for me. But I'm sure you can find some smoking deals in Arkansas. With that said, next door is Missouri. I had a client from California, and she moved from whatever it was in the in part of Orange County, whatever it's called. I don't even know what it's called. Not Silicon Valley, Simi Valley, whatever. I don't even know what it's called. But anyway, to Missouri, freaking got a house for like 175, 200, something like that. Cash money. She sold her crappy old house in California for 300,000. It was freaking 15-minute commute to work, making $15 an hour. But she's like, I don't have a mortgage. Cost of living is cheap here. She's freaking loving it, man. Loving it. She's like, I don't have to drive. I think she's driving like 2 hours each way. She loves it. Anyway, Roswell never did much for me. Look at this place, Scott. Yeah, dude. Maybe I have to move down there. Oh, yeah. I just can't see myself being a Floridian. Yeah. Oh, but look, being that close to the water. Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's look at my man Sam on here. He said something about Ohio. So, Sam, you still on here? You said, all right. Now, Sam is voting for Trump. He tries to pretend like he's not, but he's going to be a silent Mason, Ohio. All right, let's check out Mason, Ohio. I don't know anything about it. Let's see. What is this? All right, let's go to Mason, Ohio. All right, so let's see. That's where Sam lives. We'll compare Sam, the Navy guy, with Josh, the Army guy, in Alpharetta. Mason, Ohio. All right, cool. I have no idea where this is. I like that Lake River place there, Scott. That's fantastic. Crystal Lake. All right, so oh man, so Sam, it costs you about 15,000 less than me, or 15% less. That's what I'm talking about. All right, so housing. Let's take a gander. The median house in Mason is 270. Now Sam has shown me his house, and he's got a nice house. I don't know what he paid for it, but you know, if he's around the median, let's just say I'm around the median, which I'm not. I'm above that, quite significantly above that actually. His house looked pretty good, and I don't know what he paid for it, but let's just compare median, be it as it may. So it's 118,000 less in Mason, Ohio, than it is here for buying a house there. But then you have to have freaking Kasich as your previous governor, and DeWine, lack of spine DeWine. I just made that up. I got to think of a D no spine. No spine DeWine. What could it be? So anyway, you got some, you got freaking, he's bad. Don't like him. Sherrod Brown, can't stand that guy. Who's the other senator they have there? Off the top of my head, I can't remember. But Ohio, it just doesn't do it for me. Now, I could handle like Athens out there. That looks pretty nice. Where the University of Ohio is, that looks kind of reminds me of some Virginia out there. Actually, very pretty green. But actually, I don't even know where Mason, Ohio is. So I have to check it out. All right, property tax. Ooh, much higher in Mason, Ohio than it is here, Sam. 1.6. Ooh. Appreciation over the last 5 years, much less than here, which isn't good nor bad. All right, let's look at utilities. How much is old Sam paying? About the same as I'm paying here. About this, yeah, across the board, about the same. 52.8% of people use natural gas to heat. All right, that's good. So still the ace. Man, look at that. So look at that. The humidity is just a little bit less than us, but it's much higher cold. So you get more cold and roughly the same humidity. I don't know, man. That's not going to do it for me. All right, let's keep going. Look at taxes. A little bit less tax-wise in Ohio, at least where my man's at here. State income tax is much less in Ohio than here. No vehicle tax on property. That's good. About the same. And so, okay, well, that's cheaper there. No other way around that, man. Oh, whoa, significantly cheaper. Man. Wow, look at that. Even with higher real estate taxes, it's the state income tax significantly cheaper. Well, there you go. All right, let's try. I want to do one in Maine. I want to do one. Well, I'll do that later. Hold on a second. I want to do one. Oh no, I want to go to New Hampshire. That's what I want to do. The free state project. So if you've never been in New Hampshire, Exeter, New Hampshire is freaking nice. I'm a big fan. Actually, before I do that, let's look. I'll look at Mason, Ohio. See if Sam is living near any right wingers. Let's see. So Mason, Ohio. Alpharetta. All right. Let's see what we got. So how many right wingers are near you, Sam? Let's take a gander. Hey, isn't that funny? So 2/3 of the population is Republican in Sam's place. All right. And 2/3 of the population is Democrat in my place, which shocks me. I'm stunned by that. Maybe there's a lot of silent Biden voters running around me. Ugh, gives me the shivers. Ugh. Look at that, man. Mason, Ohio, 66% vote for Republican. All right. That's cool. We got to go back to, what's that place again? It was called Crystal River, Crystal Lake. Crystal River. All right, let's go Crystal River, Florida. Crystal River, Florida. And let's go to Exeter. I'm going to go to Exeter, New Hampshire. Exeter, New Hampshire is freaking fantastic. Love it. All right, so let's see how many people vote for who in these two towns. So Republican in Crystal River, yeah, 2/3. And all right, Exeter, New Hampshire, kind of Republican too. All right. Exeter, New Hampshire is one of my favorite towns. It's freaking fantastic. But let's see how much it costs to live there, shall we? Because it's nice. And if you remember my video on the Free State Project, I forgot the guy's name who I interviewed, but that's where like libertarians are trying to move to New Hampshire to kind of take over the locality to make it a free state, literally a free state, which is fantastic. There's a southern version of that on Tennessee. It's just I think they're going to get dwarfed by all these people moving into Nashville. My worry is Nashville is going to become like Atlanta, frankly, or Charlotte, which is going to dominate the regional politics, because you're getting like Alliance Bernstein is moving from New York to Nashville. I mean, just all these big people moving to Nashville, as you know, same with Austin. And unfortunately, when you escape to Nashville or to Chattanooga, for instance, from on your own accord, you're already kind of a libertarian-minded person. You're trying to be free. When you escape because of your company's moving there, you haven't had to leave your politics behind, if that makes sense. So if Alliance Bernstein employs a bunch of people who are comfortable in New York City, they're going to be more comfortable in Nashville, and they're going to keep their New York City politics. Like my man Robert on here, man, big live in freaking Long Island. He wants to come here because we tax you less, and he's going to come here and he's going to vote for the same policies he's fleeing. This is the problem, man. You know, you don't come down here. I mean, look, I'm not from Georgia originally. I'm from Maine. You know what I'm saying? But we have a lot of people, a lot from New Jersey who come down here and say, the way we did it. Like, well, if you did it so well, why are you here? You see what I'm saying? And it shouldn't be like that. A lot of people like they have signs that we don't care how you did it up north. And I'm not, again, I am from Maine. So if you're, I would highly encourage folks who are escaping their oppressive taxation to remember why they have oppressive taxation, because they voted for it. There's no other way around that. All right, so let's go to compare Alpharetta. So I'm down on 100% on Rapid City. I'm down on Crystal River. Did we look at Fort Collins politics? I can't remember. All right, so here's Exeter. About the same as Alpharetta. All right. But remember, there's no state income tax, no sales tax, but they're going to hammer you on property tax, man. And that's going to be my big thing. So let's look at housing in Exeter. Yeah, a little bit cheaper there. Oh, it's nice. I like Exeter, man. It's nice. It's right there on the river. And they got this beautiful downtown. They got some rich hoity-toity like academy school, Exeter Academy, you know, for rich kids. Like Chelsea Clinton someone like that would go there. It's like the Sidwell Friends of the North. Like, remember Obama's, this freaking Al Gore, all these liberals, man. You know, the thing, I gotta share my screen. The thing that infuriates me is these guys, they say they're for, well, let's just say that, we'll say it as is. They say they're for black people, all right? But then they get in office, they go to DC, and they send their kids to Sidwell Friends. And this was Obama's first thing he signed into office, when he was in office, was to get rid of the scholarships, the school choice vouchers for poor black kids in DC. And it wasn't just for black kids, but it was mostly black kids in DC. First thing he did. But where did Malia and what's her name, Malaya and Sasha go? Sidwell Friends. First friggin' thing. That's his payoff to the teachers' unions. So he sacrificed poor black kids whose parents, because there's no other hope for them, were freaking putting their kids in school choice. He sacrificed them for the teachers' unions who are all wealthy. The teachers' unions, the leadership is all wealthy, rich kids, without question. Wealthy, rich people. And it's freaking disgusting. And Trump gets in there and goes, oh, we're going to open up the freaking, I forgot what they call it. It wasn't the Hope Scholarship in DC. Maybe it was. We have the Hope Scholarship here. We also have the Zell Miller. It was something else, though. And it freaking infuriates me. I'm sitting there thinking, well, Obama, if the DC schools are okay, why don't you send your kids there? Yeah, can't. Well, you know why? Because the DC schools suck, man. And yet they spend a hell of a lot more money in DC public schools per kid than they do in South Dakota, than they do in Idaho. I guarantee. We know that for a fact. We've been knowing this for years, decades. The cost per student in DC, the amount of money they spend per student, it dwarfs any other place with some of the best schools, public schools in the nation, for sure. And yet the schools suck. It's nuts. And Obama gets in there. Oh, sorry, black kids, you can't go to these schools. We're going to send you back to your crappy old schools. Freaking nothing infuriates me more. It's just horrible. And these moms out there, freaking desperate for their kids to have a chance, they're freaking screwed, man. Oh, it infuriates me. And yet they're going to Sidwell Friends. Al Gore sent his kids to Sidwell Friends. I'm sure Bush sent his kids to Sidwell Friends too. But Bush is the person who wanted to make sure that bill was enacted for school choice things. George W. Crazy. And I don't know where Bush's kids, if they went to Sidwell Friends or not, I don't know. But I know Gore's did, and I know Obama's did. And Sidwell Friends is literally, let's just put it this way. You'll see, there's a lady, her dad was Al Hunt. Al Hunt used to be the liberal for the Wall Street Journal. And I don't even know if he's still alive. He probably is. And he was on some show on Friday nights on PBS NewsHour with like Jim Blair or something like that. Big lib, but just like all these guys living in Northwest DC, hoity-toity Georgetown, they're just rich liberal hypocrites, limousine liberals. And his daughter now is, I think, Katie Hunt or something like that, is a contributor for MSNBC or the Washington Post. But it's the same, it's nepotism all the way through. And where do you think she went? Yes, you got it right, Sidwell Friends. And if I miss this, and she might, I mean, I'm telling, or maybe she went to like Georgetown Day or something. It's the same thing, man. They don't go to the schools that they want your kids to go to because they got the money to go to these freaking fancy schmancy good time rock and roll schools. But heaven forbid you want to go the same. Nope, you can't have that. The hypocrites. And it's worse than hypocrites. It's evil because they say it was one side of their mouth that they're for poor black kids, and they're not. They're not at all. Anyway. If you haven't watched my video, my interview with Sherry Peel Jackson, oh my goodness, please watch that. I interviewed her on Wednesday. She's freaking awesome. Sherry Peel Jackson, love her. She went to jail for 3 years, federal penitentiary for 3 years for her belief in not having to file taxes. She was an IRS agent. And then she said, she basically was saying, I'm going to basically spill the beans on what's going on with the IRS. And then she goes, she did not say you did not have to file taxes. She didn't tell people not to, but she said they got her a misdemeanor and went to, now look, is there more to the story? I don't know. She served 3 years while her kids were at home being homeschooled, but she went to jail for her convictions. She's 5'1", black lady, freaking, she'd kick your butt, man. I mean, look, if I got on her in a cage match, she would walk away with my heart in her mouth without even putting on a grill. You see what I'm saying? She'd kick my butt because she's freaking been there. And I just sit there and think, that's the kind of people we need. Someone like that who's got the convictions to say, I'm willing to go to jail for this. It's awesome. Would I have the guts? When it comes to my firearm rights, yes, I would, without question. I'd be happy to go to jail for my firearm rights. Would I go to jail for not wearing a mask? I don't think so. I think it's stupid, but I would not. I think I'd just go along. Would I go to jail for, I don't know. The number one issue for me is firearms, without question. That's the number one right. They take away firearms, is gulag's next. That's paranoia. Yeah, okay, well, call me paranoia when I look at history. The first thing they do, they disarm people. Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, I can't remember. Someone said, the first, no free man is denied the right of his arms, or this part I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's you can't be a free man and not have the right to own firearms, which is why, by the way, as insane as the Black Panthers were, they were right on their ability to own firearms and marching through the streets with firearms. While I'm sure many people are like, oh my goodness, black people with guns, scare the hell out of people. I got no qualm with that at all. More power to them. That's freaking right on. They should join the NRA, the oldest civil rights organization in history, at least in the United States. But what it was is that the minute and so basically, why do you think we have gun control? Do you think it's to disarm white people? No, it's to disarm black people. I mean, it's a fact, man. They passed gun control to disarm black people. That's what there was. So people are promoting gun control today. Why? Because they want to disarm people they don't like. Just happens to be, I do think a lot of white liberals don't like black people. I really, truly believe that. And so they are fine with certain groups of people not having firearms. Let's just put it that way. They will never say that in public. I absolutely think they're, look, they support Margaret Sanger's Planned Parenthood. You can't support Margaret Sanger's Planned Parenthood and not inherently have some racism in you. You just can't. Those two things are mutually exclusive. They're 100% correlated. I support Margaret Sanger's Planned Parenthood. I support it. Inherently, I support racism against black people. There's no other way around that. White liberals, man, white liberals. I'll take a freaking man. I'll take a Sherry Peel Jackson. I'll take one of her first. It's 100 white liberal college professors any day of the week in my army. Hell. All right, let's go back. Let's keep going here. Let's share a screen. Hey, buddy. All right, Pablo's here. Make sure you paw. Where did we leave off? All right, so how many people did we lose? Oh, we still got good. All right, so here's Exeter, New Hampshire. All right, so I like the fact that Exeter is about Alpharetta, a little bit less than Alpharetta. Property taxes, there it is, right there. Property taxes, 2.5%. That's where they get you, man. Property taxes. Ugh. Exeter, New Hampshire, kill me, man. Lydia, I don't know why you are not able to show up here. This is the weirdest thing. Lydia, I got a Glock. I got a 12 gauge. I got a Glock. I got an AR. I got a 22 rifle. I have another 380. I forgot what it is. This my first. I got 20. I got what 6 firearms, 2 handguns, and I got a bunch of airsoft. That's the best thing. If you can't own a firearm, legally own an airsoft. My next door neighbor across right here, she's single, and she was pretty worried what was going on in Atlanta during the George Floyd stuff, and she has to go down there for work. I said, Debbie, just get yourself. And she didn't want to own she was worried about having to buy a real firearm like a Glock. What's the small Glock 17 or Glock 19? I can't remember which one's the smaller ones. I told her you should get one. She goes, I don't know. I said, well, at least get yourself an airsoft. And because it looks just like a regular pistol. And I guarantee if someone's coming up on you, carjacking you, show an airsoft, they're going to flee. And if you have to use it, I mean, it's not going to kill somebody, but it'll hurt, man. I mean, it'll hurt for sure. And airsofts are great. You get them at Walmart, you know what I'm saying? They're freaking fantastic. I love airsofts. And you get airsoft rifles, that's fun as hell. We do target practice. We haven't done it actually for a year or so, my boys. We'd be on the back target practicing with airsofts, fun. Rifles and pistols, man, all kinds of fun. We had the loader on it. Was a BB gun? I forgot. That's a hard thing to load. I forgot what it was. But anyway, no, I yeah, but I don't know, Lydia. I should be able to unlock you though. I mean, this is my channel. I don't get that. One of my subscribers reported me, and YouTube probably blocked me. Yeah, but how do you unblock somebody? I don't get how you. That's weird. All right. Well, I just made you a moderator. Hopefully that works. Yeah, the gangs in South Bronx don't care about gun control. Right on, man. Josh, you lost all those firearms in a boating accident, right? I agree, Sam. Ronald Reagan signed the Gun Control Act in California, 100%. Look, dude, no argument from me. Lydia says, have I considered leaving the country? No. No. Yeah, hot as hell in June through August in the citrus, or what's it called? All right, let's keep looking at Exeter. Crystal River, that's what it was. Dustin, who's my Marine. Dustin, you still out there in Camp Pendleton? Is that where you're at? Maine is being invaded by Massachusetts and New York. Wait till they get in winter. The funny thing, Marsh, is my brother was up in Maine. We're from Maine, like I said, and he was saying outside of Bar Harbor, it was freaking awesome. Trump signs everywhere. Everyone no one's panicked about coronavirus. Less people wearing masks. People were nice and friendly. In Bar Harbor, he said there, because the Maine and New Yorkers are up there on vacation. People just rude. People just crude, and just like they looked at, because he's got 4 kids too. We're Irish Catholics, the way we roll. But anyway, he's like, dude, people just looking at him like literally, because he's gonna kill everybody with his kids, because children are evil for the world, for the environment. Can you imagine? Wall Street Journal, I don't know if they still do it, but every year they used to do an editorial, and but I'll never on around Thanksgiving, which is fantastic. And they did one. I'll never forget this. But they talked about like because people are starving in Africa, and the rich liberals in the European area were Bill Gates along the lines. This is about 20 years ago. We're saying stop having children, and basically what they're saying is the Wall Street Journal says, you have to be sick in the head to think children are worse for the environment, and that, or actually you should say a pig is an asset more so than a child. And I'll never forget reading that. That hit me like a ton of bricks. So what it was is all these, environmentalists thinking people in Africa having too many kids, and that's bad. It causes environmental chaos, blah, 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 blah. But a pig is good because they can eat the pig. And I'll never forget that. But a child actually has a brain that can be used to change the flipping world. A pig does not. Pig can't do that. And it is such a wonderful, the epitome of humanity. The Wall Street Journal saying the idea that a child in Africa is less value than a pig shows you the insanity of the environmental movement. And I'll never forget. I must have read that when I was 21, 22 years old, right when I got out of the Army. So I had forced myself to read the Wall Street Journal editorial page because I was real nervous going to college, man. I said, look, I'm not a good student. I don't like school. I wasn't good. I get out of the infantry. I haven't been around women for freaking 4 years. And these young kids, they're going to smoke me. And I said, I got to force myself to get my game up because I don't want to look like an idiot. And lo and behold, I didn't have to worry about that. But I forced myself to read the Wall Street Journal, the editorial page. I don't care about the business section, but the editorial page was a wonderful learning experience. And that led me to other books I had to read and stuff. But anyway, at the end of the day, the idea that an African child has less value than a pig is disgusting. And yet many liberals will think that. They think that is true. And we have to go and reduce the population. There's a pandemic of overpopulation, i.e. people are bad. People. It's disgusting. And Bill Gates, we're going to reduce the population by 30% with vaccines, with freaking, what's he call it? He doesn't say abortion. He doesn't say Planned Parenthood, but he calls it reproductive rights and stuff like that. And it's just, this is some sick stuff, man. There's some sick stuff. I'm sitting there thinking, dude, human beings are not bad. We are good. We're a net benefit to society, net benefit to the environment. We're a net benefit to all the world. Are there some sick ones? Yeah, absolutely. The vast majority of us aren't. And it's just kind of like us going back today, just real quick. Let me go off my tangent here. Folks, stop this idea that there's a criminal, or I don't care what the race is. I don't care. Stop. There's 330 million people in this country. Very few of us are being jumped by a bunch of black guys. Very few of us are being jumped by a bunch of Klansmen. It's just not happening. There are some, I get it. That is not the rule. That's the exception. If you're walking around with this thing like everyone's got to get me, that's not good. That's not good. There's something there. You're allowing your fear to dictate your life. Don't do that. Now, look, should you go to freaking, when I shared this story before, when I first got out of the Army, my first job being a temp was I used to escort these two black ladies, and we'd go to these places handing out. We'd go to the redneck bars in Manassas, Virginia, and down in, I don't think we went to Fredericksburg, handing out Marlboro Reds with all kinds of gear, posters and stuff. And then we go to the urban bars in DC with Newports, handing out all the gear and stuff. And one of the women was freaking, just insanely gorgeous. Oh man, she was freaking beautiful. The other one was not, but she was nice, but she was just, anyway, long story short, I said, man, this is going to be bad because if I'm supposed to somehow protect this lady, I'm a white guy in an urban area with a beautiful black lady handing out free Newports in bars where people are drinking. Not good. And there's no way nothing ever happened. But I remember, and one lived in Anacostia and the other one lived in not a great part, but Anacostia is bad. And I remember driving down through there at 3 a.m. after we get off our shift and happened to drop them off. And it's just, Anacostia, if you're not from DC, Anacostia is just not good. But even, at 3 a.m, dropping these people off in Anacostia as a white guy in a car, I mean, I never got assaulted. That doesn't mean it didn't happen to some people. It doesn't mean it won't happen to some people. It just means at the end of the day, here I am to talk about it. And most people are here to talk about it. Now, I don't even care if you're white or black. Should you be running around the streets in Anacostia at 3 a.m. on a Saturday night? No. But at the end of the day, the vast majority of us are going to survive just fine. It's not that bad out there. I just wish people would stop this idea like they're all out to get me, because it's from me on the right too. Look, if you want to carry concealed, I got no qualm with that. I got no qualm with that at all. I just hope you have the training and you hope to have the temperament to recognize there's not anyone out to get you. They're not. I mean, there's some freaks out there, but it's just wrong place at the wrong time. It's nothing more than that. It's just bad luck. And I hope people recognize that, because most people are good. I mean, maybe it's because I'm a Christian, but I just think at the end of the day, most people are good. Most people want you to live your life. They don't care about your business, man. So stop worrying about it. I mean, I truly believe that, and just go on with your life. Now, situational awareness, keep your head up, your head on a swivel, see what's going on. But that's not likely to get assaulted by a group of thugs. Well, they got the knockout game, Josh. Man, I get it. I used to have to work in Center City, Philadelphia. And, I'd get off at night because I stayed late because I like to work. I'm a hard worker. And I'd walk to the train in Center City. And, they had the knockout game in Center City, and it's thugs. It's thugs. There are some. I mean, I don't want to, not say that there aren't some thugs. They're not that many relative to the overall population. It's just not that many. Now, I still want firearms. Why? Well, just because that is your first level defense. You got to defend yourself. When seconds are needed, cops are only a minute away. That's not an indictment on the police. It just means you are the first person to defend yourself. But you're not going to need to set up a perimeter with a freaking bunker out there with an M60 and a tripod, because, freaking Antifa and Black Lives Matter is going to come get you. Just not going to have to do that. Anyway, all right, let me go off that diatribe. So we'll just go with this last one here, and with Exeter, because again, I love New Hampshire. I love Exeter. But look, I'm a native New Englander, Northern New Englander. It's always close to my heart. There's no other way around that. What would be my ideal? Someone had said on here, freaking Texas and Maine. Was it Maine or something like that? South Dakota, I can't remember. Someone said Maine in the summer, Texas in the winter. That's right about me. But see, I don't want to own two houses, man. I don't want to own two houses. So I'd probably own a house in we'll just say Tyler, Texas, and then 3 months out of the year go up to Maine or something like that. But I will tell you, I have my just real quick. I go off on these tangents. Sorry, folks. One of my best friends when I was growing up on Peaks Island, I went to see him. I hadn't talked to him in years and years and years and years. And then when I was working in Portsmouth, he found me on Facebook. And I said, dude, I'm working in Portsmouth. Let's hang out. He said, yeah, come on up. We'll have a lobster thing. We went to his house, and his sister's house in Portland. He was a chef. And anyway, long story short, I went to his sister's house in Portland, and who I knew. And their parents came by, who still lived on Peaks Island. And they are in Maine 9 months out of the year. Then they go to Florida, probably where you're at, Scott. I don't know. They just go to Florida like 2 months out of the year, maybe 3, something like that. And they love it. They say, yeah, we're older now. We're in our 70s, so the winters in Maine are too tough for us. But 9 months, 8 months out of the year. So I think they said 9 months out of the year. It's good. And they got a house paid for. They don't. I mean, it's just not a fancy schmancy house, just a house paid for in Maine, and they flee to the south in the wintertime. Perfect. And they got someone there to make sure the pipes don't freeze and all that. But not a bad life, man. But they don't buy a house. They just go down there and Airbnb or something like that, or I don't know what to do. Maybe even RV. I don't know. But having two houses, that doesn't have any appeal to me at all. But having the wherewithal when I do my financial plans, a lot of times we budget, $10,000 a year in travel costs. You see what I'm saying? For your first 10, 15 years of retirement. And man, my triceps, you ever done the plank? Jeez Louise. My triceps are sore as can be. I was doing the plank. I've never done that plank today. I was working out my oldest son. And I was doing the plank. Man, if you want to get your tris, do the plank. Why would the plank make your tris up? Nuts. but I can feel it. And that, it's crazy. Anyway, so now let's go back. I forgot. I lost my train of thought. All right, so let's go. All right, let's go. Let's get this party ended up here. So there's Exeter. Yeah, see, they get you on property tax, man. But look at, no, not that much appreciation over the last 5 years relative to Alpharetta. Huh. Interesting. So let's go to utilities. I appreciate y'all being here, by the way. Add up to 200 at one point. It's awesome. It's awesome. The idea that some guy, 200 of y'all would take some time to listen to me yap. Crazy. Crazy. All right, so utilities are much more expensive in Exeter than they are in Alpharetta. That's not good. Yeah, look at that. 18 cents per kilowatt hour in Exeter. 174 is your typical electric bill. Remember Sideshow Bob? I probably can't show that or else I get trademarked, whatever it is. All right, so how'd they heat their homes in Exeter? So, 50, no. Oh, no. Oh, okay, right here, fuel oil. All right, there you go. So they use fuel oil. All right, there you go. So that's 50% use fuel oil, 15% use natural gas, 9% use electricity. So how much is propane, heating oil, $2.62 a gallon? That's how they do it up there. They use heating oil. So you got these big, tanks of heating oil. I remember they have to fill it, man. Woo! Remember going to my house and my mom didn't have the money to pay for heating oil, and it'd be colder outside, inside than outside. I just remember coming home from school saying, "Please let the heat be on." Oh, just walk in there. The minute you touched the door, you just knew. And you're like, you open up, the cold would hit you. It's even worse inside than outside. You're like, damn, it's friggin'. That's why I get scared of the heat, my friends. Trust me. Let me just finish up with Exeter here. Anything else you want to see? Solar, look at that. Heating index. So you're gonna have to heat your house pretty good up there. That's for sure, as we just talked about. Summer, you might not even need AC. I'm still getting AC if I live in Exeter. I'm soft. Let's just put it that way. Humidity is a lot less up there than here, and then summer comfort is comfort. Ooh, let's see what humidity is like. Bear with me just a second. I want to go to check this out. Check this out. You guys want to be stunned. You will be stunned. We're going to go to Silver Spring, Maryland. That's where I went to high school. All right. Actually, let's compare Silver Spring, Maryland to Portland, Maine, because that's also where I went to high school. And we're going to say $100,000. All right. So let's look at costs a lot less in Portland, Maine than it does in Silver Spring, Maryland. That's good. Because that's right outside DC. Housing in Silver Spring, good night. Look at that. 406 is the median. Jeez Louise. But I want to see. Nuts to that. How do they get you on taxes there? Let's see here. Let's look at taxes in Maryland. State income tax, yep, high in Maryland. All right. Yep. Now let's just real quick. We got state income tax. That's still not bad, man. 4.5% is your effective tax rate. That's not bad. The feds is what gets you. I always say the feds is what gets you. Sales taxes, the real estate taxes. All right, that's not so bad. All right, anyway, let's I want to go to utilities. So I want to see what it's like in Silver Spring. Humidity. Yeah, all right, that's crazy. Look at that. 5.8 in Portland, 7.5 in Silver Spring. That's nuts. Interesting. All right, so check this out, and then we'll get you out of here tonight. I worked with a guy yesterday, a client. He lives in Maryland. I said, "Oh man, where you live in Maryland?" He told me north of DC. I said, "Oh man, I used to live in Silver Spring." He goes, "Oh yeah, right on." He went to high school in Silver Spring. I said, "Really?" He said, "Where'd you go?" He goes, "Blair." I said, "You got to be kidding me." He goes, "Why?" I said, "Because I went to Blair." Tell me that's not flipping crazy, folks. He went to Montgomery Blair. He graduated 5 years before I did, but I went to Blair. He went to Blair. Crazy. He went to the same high school. He wrestled. I wrestled. We both sucked. Blair had a horrible football team, a great basketball team, horrible football team, and a great track and field team. Um, I'll leave that at that. But anyway, isn't that crazy? Nuts, man. He used to live on Flower Ave. It's funny. And I said, man, that because Flower Ave, where he used to live, is not a good place. And where I used to live is not a good place either. It's just kind of funny. And he's a white guy, and I'm a white guy. Just is just kind of reminiscing about Blair, and just because it's just I could not believe it, man. And it's just funny how we're chatting on that because Flower Ave is not really a great place. Let's just put it that way. And neither was my place. We're like, yeah, interesting times. We used to talk about going to Langley Park. And now Langley Park is just, I mean, even back then it was pretty bad. And now it's just horrible. That's in PG County. But man, it was just like a blast from the past talking to this guy's nuts. And anyway, isn't that crazy? We both went to the same high school. He was 5 years before me, though. Nuts, man. Anyway, all right. So, and we'll finish this up. Just see what kind of thoughts, questions, comments you all have. Please send the Democrats from Mason, Ohio, to the South Bronx. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right, you guys almost got Abrams. Not surprised. Blue Ridge is hardcore Republican. Yeah, man. Birch Bay, Washington. Ooh, that sounds good. Where is Birch Bay? Oh, wait, I'm way down here. Okay, there we go. Texas has homestead and senior discount on property tax. I don't think it's that great, man. I don't think it's that. I don't think that the homestead is all that great in Texas, though, man. No real specifics about CR. I was just impressed she actually made the move. I must have. I have the Alabama's playing Ole Miss. Oh man, because I'm Mississippi State. Oh, Costa Rica. Yeah. So in Costa Rica, as a citizen, you can own a personal firearm and okay, she's asking that. Can you own personal firearms and carry it with you? Okay, gotcha. Rick says Northwest in the summer and Naples in the winter is the best. My man says he doesn't know why I don't recommend Texas for retirement just because the property tax. Just the property tax. I mean, and then Texas isn't that cheap. Look, I like Texas. Look, I got a whole list of towns to do. I'm going to compare. I got Traverse City, got some Indiana, got Huntsville, Lexington, Kentucky, Greenville, South Carolina, Tyler, Texas, Corpus, Texas, Fredericksburg, Texas. Those are the three we're going to look at. We are in Rapid City. We got St. George, Utah. We did Bellingham. Eagle Creek, Oregon. We're going to do Coeur d'Alene, Boise, Fountain Hills, Flagstaff, Newark, Delaware, Wilmington, Winston-Salem, Franklin in North Carolina. Then we're going to do Chattanooga, Johnson City. I got many places to do for sure. So no, man, Texas is still on the radar. I love Corpus Christi. Absolutely. Fredericksburg, Texas, absolutely. Tyler, absolutely. There's a couple other places in Oregon I want to look at too. And then in Washington State, I like Bellingham, but it's not going to work for me because my wife won't live there. It's too cloudy. But Prescott, Flagstaff, Fountain Hills. My man is from Utah. I said, where would retirees live in Utah? He said St. George. I said, okay. So I'll do one on St. George. So if y'all have ideas, let me know. I mean, I love doing this stuff. It's good. It's good content, man. It's good content. People enjoy it. It's fun to do. Wyoming, I couldn't think. I mean, I know Cheyenne I didn't like. That has no appeal to me. Jackson Hole's too expensive. So I don't know anything about Wyoming. So if you have a thought on Wyoming, I was going to do Lake Tahoe and Nevada. Las Vegas doesn't do anything. Was it Henderson? That's not for me. I don't like the desert. So anyway, if y'all have some ideas, put them in the comments when we're done here, or email me. That's fine. Yeah, and then I was watching somebody. They live in Casa Grande, Arizona. There used to be a big RV trailer thing down there, but they go to Mexico for a lot of their health care because it's so much cheaper. And that's nuts. Why? I don't understand why healthcare is so expensive here. It's crazy. Just going back to Costa Rica, Sherry Peel Jackson owns property in Costa Rica that she's trying to develop. Just FYI, follow her YouTube channel. Portugal, yeah, no, my man. Some people like Portugal for sure. Uh, Majority of all violent crime is occurring in Democrat-run cities. That goes for all types. Yeah, it's sad, man. I'm not a fan of the villages. It's way too crowded for me. Yeah, I kind of think so too. I gotta, and I'm sure there's tons of HOAs, and I just, article today about oldies at the villages turning anti-Trump, held a Biden parade of their golf carts. Looks like hell to me. Yeah, that ain't gonna happen. We drive by the villages every time we're down there. It looks like a nice area. It's more of a retirement committee. It definitely is, man. Definitely retired. But everyone who lives there loves it. I mean, at least the people I talk to, they forget to a person. They all love the villages. It's nuts. It's nuts how much they love the villages. It's actually kind of sick. All right, let's see. We're about 45 minutes and 500K from the villages. Right on. Retiring to Canada. I don't know the first thing about it. I'd be interested in hearing about that. You, Marquette Tech. My man Ross McIntosh is on here. He's from PEI. I don't think you can. I don't think you can immigrant there unless you. I don't know how it works, but if someone knows, I'd be interested in hearing that for sure. But I know you can go there for 30 days without. You can go for. So basically, like, so let's just say you got an Airbnb in Halifax in Nova Scotia. You go there for 30 days and come back. Right? That's something that's appealing to me too. Nova Scotia, Halifax has more Irish speaking people, Gaelic, than is it any other place in the world or any other place except for Ireland. I can't remember, but there's a huge Irish contingency in Halifax. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, but Carol, to get the political numbers, you must have to upgrade. Which, yeah, again, it's like $100 a year. It's well worth doing. If you're into this stuff, it's fun. It's well worth doing it. Yeah, absolutely. Alfred is not 67%. The website must be using. I think you're right, Rick. Yeah, there's no way Alfred, no way Milton is 67% Democrat. There's just no way. They must be using Fulton County. That's what they got it. It's got to be Fulton County because it's not 67. I completely agree with that. If you're still on here, Ray, made up my mind to make a new start going to California with an aching in my heart. Someone told me there's a girl out there. Oh boy, Ray's going back to his hippie days. Kings Island, don't know anything about it. Great fishing and golf. Northwest Arkansas around Rogers is fantastic. Mountains with lots of reservoirs. The rest of the state is terrible. Right on. Fort Collins is definitely getting more liberal. Nothing like Boulder, though. Not yet. Yep. All right. Oops, did I miss something? I like Henderson myself as long as I like the desert. Yeah, man, I don't, dude. Newport, Tennessee. I haven't heard about that yet. Newport, Tennessee. All right, my friends. We'll get at you. We'll get out of here. Appreciate y'all being here. We'll be back tomorrow for Q&A. Got lots of questions lined up to do. So we will see you 7 p.m. Manana. I like these live streams. I'll probably start doing them more. They're fun. YouTube likes them. I like them. It's good. I like this chat. But tomorrow there'll be questions more than me just yapping because I got a bunch lined up from people. Email me, and then if you want to throw your own out there, I'd be happy to go over those as well about financial planning. See you guys on the other side. Thanks now.